Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are going to be going over all the basics of files in Python. I'm going to be going through all the different types of modes you can use when opening files and how to open files whether you're in a directory or not. So to begin, we are going to be creating a file. To do this, we are going to need to make a variable. My variable is called file, followed by equals, then open. Then inside the brackets we're going to write as a string the name of the file you would like to create. This will create the file in the same folder that the program you are currently writing is in. Then we do comma, then speech marks, X to let the program know that we are creating a file. Then we can just follow it up with a file.close brackets to save and close the file. So that is it on how to create a file. We are now going to be looking at appending to the file. So we start this off with the same way with a variable equals open and then the name of the file. If the file doesn't already exist, it will create a file with this name. Then we follow it up with an A. Append means that we will write onto the end of whatever is already in there. Onto the next line we write the name of the variable .write. This is how you add text into the file. Then in brackets, follow it up with whatever you want to add into the file. In this case, I will be writing appending 1. Then we close the file again. Now on to reading a file. Same again as the others, but this time instead of A, we are putting an R. To get the contents, we need to create a variable that is going to store it, and we set it to the name of the variable .read and a pair of brackets. We'll print these so you can see that the appending from previously has worked. Next up, we're going to be appending again, but the difference here is the directory. In order to get to a folder that is not the folder currently in use, my example is for Macs, you start with a / and then just place in the directory, and at the end another / but with the name of the file. This time we will be appending the string appending 2. Then we close the file again. For this next one, we are reading again and printing the contents, but this example is to show that for reading, it isn't essential to write R into the mode when opening a file. It can do the same thing without it. Next up is writing to a file. This is very similar to appending, but the difference here is that if the file exists, it will override the old file and replace it with what we're about to write into it. If it doesn't exist already, it will create it. For this, we will just be writing in the string writing into the file. Finally, we are going over reading the file and printing it again, but the difference here is that we have put a 5 in the reading area. This is to show that it is possible to read only a certain section of the file. So for this, we will only read the first 5 characters in the file. Now that is it. Now to see the results. What we can see from these is the appending from the first time prints appending 1. The second time appending, however, shows appending 1 and appending 2, showing that appending adds on to the end of the file. The third result shows 2 things. This time, the previous results are gone, showing that writing overwrites the file and replaces it with what was previously in it. Also, that only the first 5 characters printed because we only read the first 5 characters from the file. Those are the results. When we run it a second time, we are shown an error. This is because we are trying to create a file that has already been created. This will happen when trying to create a file, mode X, or if the file doesn't exist and you're trying to read, mode R. Now that is it for today's video, and I hope you have enjoyed and you have learnt something. See you soon.